Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Her Soulful Success podcast. I am Diana Ricciotti, certified coach of NLP, certified timeline therapy practitioner, business mentor, and the girl who went from corporate climbing to solopreneur, replacing her full-time income working part-time hours in her business while juggling mum life. But you, my friend, can call me D, because I know quite literally that we're going to become business besties. This space is for you to escape into, away from the crazy hustle in your business and life, to get your weekly mindset fix, your business boost, your realignment with the highest and best version of yourself, and your dose of self-development. All ingredients that I believe for a soulfully successful business where abundance and fulfillment go hand in hand. Whether you're doing the 9-to-5 grind and dreaming about there being something more out there for you, whether you're wanting to explode your side hustle, or you are already a business owner feeling maybe a little lost, stuck, or overwhelmed, this podcast is designed to speak to your soul. So without further ado, let's jump into this week's podcast and level up your mindset so that you can begin living your best life. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Her Soulful Success podcast. I am your host, Diana, and I am a little bit excited about shaking things up this week and bringing a podcast to you on a Monday to kick off a 3-day challenge. And what this challenge is going to be about is helping you guys, if you implement everything I tell you, of course, attract more clients and customers into your business. I have wanted to do a podcast mini challenge for a while, and really behind the whole mission behind, I guess, why I even have this podcast is to give all the beautiful women listening in an opportunity to have access to some level of business coaching if you have not invested in a coach already. And what I'm going to be teaching you in the short but effective and right to the point episodes that I'll be running today, tomorrow, and Wednesday is literally what I teach my clients, okay? So if you implement everything, and I'm going to highlight this again, if you implement and take action on everything it is that I teach you, I guarantee that you will be attracting naturally more clients to your business through your social media marketing right now. So I'll just break down the days and what we're going to be going through. The first day is going to be all about research. So knowing your client, your customer problems, desires, wants, and dreams. Tomorrow, I'm going to be teaching you about how to focus on creating change and getting clear on the solutions, transformations, and outcomes you're going to provide to your customer, and how to speak to that in your copy and your communication. And the third being how to nurture your tribe, how to actually create a community and why that is important. Now, there is going to be a little prize out for grabs, guys. I am giving my listeners an opportunity to win a $100 Amazon gift card to spend on anything that you like for yourself or for your business. All you need to do to enter is tag me in a story post of you listening to my episode. I love kind of seeing where everybody listens in from, or participating in the challenge. And you can enter every single day if you like. So the more entries, the more chances you have of winning the gift card. The other step 2 of what you need to do is review the podcast and send me a screenshot and your email address just once, okay? And for everyone that enters, I will send everyone who enters my 30-day journaling prompts ebook, which I know is also going to be super beneficial to you. So again, 1 is tag me in a story post of you listening to the podcast, or show me how you are implementing what I'm teaching you in the challenge. And number 2 is review the podcast and send me a screenshot and your email address. And I will send everyone who enters my 30-day journaling prompts ebook. Okay, lovely ladies listening in, and if there are any gentlemen, of course, we're going to go straight into number one and day one. Okay, we're going to be talking about research and why it's important to know your client and customers' problems, desires, wants, and dreams. Now, this is a foundational step that we always tend to want to skip over when we're building our products and services. Research, guys, research. What do I mean by research? In simple terms, I mean taking the time out to really get to know your ideal client's pain points, problems they are facing on the day-to-day, what keeps them up at night, as opposed to assuming you know what they are. See, marketing can seem really complicated, okay? Especially if you are new to business. There are so many different tactics, strategies, and tools available online. But if you want to cut through all of that noise and really just simplify what all the strategies are truly saying, it is to clearly tell your ideal client and customer how you are solving their problem and how you are benefiting their life. It's as simple as that. That is it. That is all of the marketing and my media communications degree summed up in one sentence, okay? If you are spending your time building pretty websites, social media pages, and sales pages, but the content itself is not clearly speaking to how you will help your customer, then you're wasting your time and money. So I'm not going to go and say a beautiful website or, cohesive social media pages do not matter, because they do. They really do help build your brand and, I guess attract your ideal clients for sure. But they are not the be and end all. What am I trying to say here? The end all, be all, the bit. You guys, yeah, this is me. I'm in a little bit of a blooper moment on this podcast, but you know what? I'm not going to edit that. You guys know what I mean. So if you have not yet done any work on clarifying who your customer or your ideal client is, book in a business boost call with me via the link in the show notes, because it's really important to take this essential step in order to get all of the marketing right. Okay, so this is taking that one step further back, and that's actually understanding who you're going to be speaking to. If you don't know how to get super clear on your ideal customer or client, please book in a free call with me. I love running you guys through this. I will give you some really great questions to run through, journal on in your own time, but that is a step you want to take before even doing the research. Okay. So going back to marketing 101 and clearly communicating how you are solving a problem for your market. In order to do that well, you first need to identify and then continue to research what those problems and pain points actually are. What I see a lot of business owners doing is assuming. Okay, what that leads to is you essentially speaking to yourself and addressing problems you are guessing that your client or customer has. Now, you might have had some of the problems that your ideal customers and clients are having, true, but you don't want to assume completely based on your perceptions and your projections. You want to actually know for sure. You use terms and language that you understand when you're assuming, but might not necessarily resonate with your clients. That is another really important factor to consider. That is also why it is important to know who you are speaking to on a deeper level, to the point that you know the language that they use, the terms they are familiar with, and their level of consciousness and knowledge, okay? So for example, if your market is women who are struggling with eating healthy whilst maintaining a busy lifestyle, and you are a qualified nutritionist, for example, you don't want to be using medical terminology to explain how a specific food can affect your sympathetic nervous system and present your entire university degree in your social media with complex graphs and charts. You're going to lose that busy mama. You will lose their attention, and you'll lose the attention of your market if that is your ideal client, because you're not meeting them where they are at. You are speaking to yourself, essentially. You are speaking to the woman that has, completed or finished the degree and knows the terminology. You're speaking to someone with a different level of consciousness, okay? So, however, if you were to demonstrate 5 quick and simple ways that you can eat this food throughout the week to reduce anxiety and stress, how would that busy woman feel engaging with your marketing content? what would she assume that you are an expert in? Okay, chances are that with digestible content that you have provided her, such as, 3 to 5 easy hacks, simple ways, etc., with the benefit of easily implementing and achieving a quick win, she will now be interested in your recipe book, ebook, or course. So going back to assuming you know your customers' pain points, let's just say that you knew that your clients are busy women struggling to eat wholesome foods, but what you could know more specifically that they were struggling with is actually not just that, but creating shopping lists and actually planning their weekly meals. Like, what if you knew that underneath that, the reason why they were struggling to eat wholesome foods is because it just took them a long time and they didn't know how to structure and create a shopping list or meal plan. That it was this task alone that was the time-consuming part and they didn't know where to start with it. So if you knew that millions of your ideal clients were Google searching simplify meal planning or simple meal planning, engaging with meal prep content, or wanting for you to provide them with some tips around this, how much more powerful would that be if your recipe book, your ebook, or course was designed to with specifically that in mind? For example, if you created an ebook, you could include an easy-to-use digital shopping list or a meal planner. Or perhaps if you were creating a recipe app, you would include an easy add ingredients to shopping list option. Perhaps you had even already created your product or service with this specific problem in mind, but it's your marketing, your product or service that needs to have this in mind. Maybe you already have an app that has this feature, but are you speaking about this feature? Are you addressing this feature and linking it to the problem of your ideal client not knowing how to meal plan? Because that is going to be key for them to purchase your book, not just that you have a book and where it is and how you can download it. No one cares about that. They want to know how it is that you're going to be solving their specific problem and solution. So marketing when based on market research is just so much more powerful. So if you're currently just assuming, playing guessing games and winging, both creating your products or services or marketing them, then it's time you engaged in some research. So how can you do market research? Okay, I'm going to give you guys some really simple ways. First of all, you have something that is so easy, that is accessible to everybody, and that is using your social media. And that is polls, surveys, questions, asking your community. Not just, sharing your life and the information but actually getting feedback from them. Is this going to be something of interest to you? What do you want to know more about? What sucks the most about this and that? Okay, if you were to pinpoint your pain point, is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, use your social media. It has already some amazing inbuilt tools for you to basically do your market research. Instagram wants you to be doing that shit, okay? It wants you to be selling through your stories and it wants you to be doing the market research for it. So go ahead and use those polls, surveys, questions, ask your community. That is going to be a really great, easy and direct way for you to do market research. Now, something that I get a lot and something that I also struggled with was lack of people engaging in your polls, surveys and questions. Two things to consider there, and maybe more than two, but let's just talk to two. One is it might be that your question, your survey, what you're asking your community isn't of interest to your audience to engage in. So reflect back on if you were scrolling across and you were wanting to watch somebody's stories, what kind of polls, surveys and questions do you often participate in? Sometimes it means to build engagement, you actually need to incorporate some questions or surveys that require your community to contribute to you, because people love to contribute to you, love to give you advice also. So play around with that. And the other thing to consider is consistency, okay? It's going to take a little while, particularly if you are just starting out in social media, don't just give up if you've got a whole bunch of bots answering your first few surveys or polls. Keep consistent, keep going. And one thing that I would recommend is focus on engaged audience members following you. One thing that I did earlier on in my business, and something that I highly recommend you not to do, and since then I have tried to reverse and I had to do a complete cleanup, is for, thinking that it was going to get me more engagement, sort of participate in follow for follow trains in particular groups on Facebook that were filled with other business owners, okay? Follow for follow trains, even if they're in a targeted group, don't always necessarily work, because the people are there just to get their vanity number of how many followers they want to achieve and how many they want to get. Just focus more on your content and on your hashtags and the value and speaking to what it is that your audience is going to be interested in, whether it is that you have 100 or 1,000 followers, it does not matter. But a more engaged audience means that you have more people participating in your poll surveys and questions. So do avoid anything like follow trains, follow for follow. I don't know if anyone's ever considered purchasing followers. Do not do this, because when you do go ahead and really want to do that market research, you're not going to get much response, because those people are there just in order for you to follow them back, okay? They're not there for your business. The second point being, sorry, I elaborated on that a little bit longer than I was expecting to, but it is something really important that I believe is important to highlight. So, number 2, engage with your community. So ask them directly, not as part of a sales pitch, but to be intentionally curious. What are they struggling with? And this might be in your DM conversations, okay? This might be in your messenger chats. This might be when somebody actually comments on one of your feed posts. Actually engage in a proper conversation and come from a place of learning, of being curious, not trying to skip 5 steps ahead in trying to sell to them, but actually find out how you're going to be able to solve their solution, because then you won't even need to sell, honey. It's going to be that much easier for you. So what are they struggling with? So actually speak to your community. Like, these are people. Remember that these aren't just numbers. They're people that are in your community, in your social media circle, that are choosing to hang out with you on the day-to-day. If you can see people, that are frequently watching your stories, I take that as a permission slip for you to reach out and say hello. Ask them, what are they loving about your content? What could you do better? What do they want to see more of? They're already watching you, so find out directly from them. Another great way is surveys. So whether you are sending them to your existing customers, you could reward your existing customers and clients in exchange for a survey somehow, or you create a reward for someone filling out a survey or jumping on a call with you to complete a survey where you get to ask them, what are their pain points? What are their struggles? What keeps them up at night? This is a really great and powerful way. You can also use paid platforms like BuzzSumo is one of my favorite ones. This gives you a powerful insight into what your market is viewing online. It gives you the statistics around, what are the most read blogs, what is searched the most in your industry, by just putting in some buzzwords that, are in alignment with what you do. This is obviously a paid platform, but depending on how important this is to you, I personally think that any type of market research is just invaluable, and that kind of investment is always going to pay you right back. And if you want something for free, well, Google search. Good old Mr. Dr. Google is the way to go. You can basically just even type in a buzzword or a word from your industry and see what are people searching for in your industry, because Google search is always going to provide you with what is the most searched questions in Google. For example, if you are a skincare line and you have an acne range, you can pop in acne and see what people are asking about acne, like how to clear acne organically or naturally, right? So that is something that gazillions, I love when I'm really accurate with my statistics, guys, but lots and lots of people in your market and your audience are looking for answers to, okay, and how you can tap into that. But the key point here is don't just do this once, okay? Don't just do your market research once. Don't do one survey or don't do a whole bunch of surveys, one time. Don't just do a poll once in a blue moon. Don't engage with your customers once and never again. This is something you want to keep doing over and over again. So get used to it, girlfriend, okay? You need to stay up to date. In order for you to stay competitive in your industry, you have to stay up to date with what's important with your clients. Our business world, our life, our external world is changing all the time. And when it is changing all the time, that means the problems that your ideal clients and customers are facing are going to be changing all of the time too. So you don't want to be creating outdated products and services, and you don't want to be marketing your products and services in an outdated way that isn't relevant to your audience any longer. So in a forever changing world, you want to keep up, and the best way that you can do that is to continue to get feedback from your customers. It does not have to be difficult, guys. It does not have to be complicated. Just do the simple things that you already have access to, okay? And really all it comes down to is, what are they loving and what are they not loving about your products, your services, or about what is happening in the industry that you are creating your products and services in? Find a pain point, and you're going to be using that pain point and that struggle and creating copy and content, speaking and leaning into it. Okay? So that sums up your first part of this 3-day mini challenge. I want you guys to really go off now and think about how you can do more research, how you can implement research as an actual process in your business. If you haven't done it before, how can you start doing it now? And how can you continue to do it consistently? And again, if you guys want to enter into the prize to win a $100 Amazon gift card, all you need to do is tag me in a story post of you listening to the episode or participating in the challenge. So, you might be creating your market research survey. You might want to send, even tag me in one of your polls. I would love to participate in one of your polls, especially if I am your ideal client. Remember that you can enter every single day. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then review the podcast and send me a screenshot. I would love to send you guys a free 30-day journaling prompts ebook that I know is going to change your life. Yes, I'm going there, guys. It is that epic. All right, my beautiful girls. Well, there is day 1. Lots of things for you to implement there. And I cannot wait to catch you in tomorrow's episode. Bye for now. Hey business bestie, thank you so much for choosing to tune into the Her Soulful Success podcast. Don't forget to check out the show notes for all of the links, including my private Facebook group community, Passion to Profit, where I share even more free content, freebies, and live events for the ambitious business babe. If you loved what you heard today, you're going to love what I have in store for you. Everything from creating beautiful branding, money, mindset, and wealth, nutrition for optimal energy and mood, to energy healing and anxiety management. I got you. I am covering all of the things to support you on your journey to soulful success. So that you don't miss out on future episodes, don't forget to click subscribe and share the podcast with your tribe. If you share it on your socials, don't forget to tag me so that I can say hi and thank you personally.